We recently did a tutorial on how to play the pentatonic scale, the 5 pentatonic box shapes, in any key that you want. And so now we're going to do the same kind of thing with the diatonic scale. So we just did a tutorial on the difference between the pentatonic and the diatonic scales. So make sure you go to sixstringcountry.com and watch that if you have a question about that. But in short, the diatonic scale, which is the same thing as basically saying the major scale, G diatonic and the G major scale is saying the same thing. That's got a 7-note repeating pattern, and the pentatonic scale has 5 notes in it that repeat. So that's the G diatonic or the G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Whereas the pentatonic has just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay? So again, we have a whole long tutorial about that will really shed some light on the difference between the major diatonic and then the pentatonic scales. That's not what this is about. We're going to focus just on the diatonic scale here and figure out how to play this like we teach it on the site in the key of G, but play it in any key that we want. And to do that, we're going to really try to understand the theory behind it as it relates to the guitar. And once we do that, and as long as we're able to kind of name the notes as we're looking at the fretboard, which is very important. What I mean by that is be able to tell me that, that's a G note, 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 that's a G note. Or if I want to find C notes, I could go here, I could go here, I could go here, here, here. That's going to be important as we kind of unlock this. So just like the pentatonic scale, the diatonic scale has different positions. And the reason we have these different positions is just so that we can kind of fluidly move up and down the neck and make these scales something musical when we're playing lead lines and improvisation. So just so we're all on the same page, here's the 7 positions of the diatonic scale. Here's the first one, just like in the pentatonic. For the diatonic here, starts on the 1st degree of the scale, on the G note. The G note is the root for G diatonic, and we're going to start the first position here. Notice I like to play them up and come back down when I'm practicing scales, and also I'm alternating my pick, just 2 good practice habits. Side note, the second position starts on the 2nd scale degree, an A note here for, that's position 1. We're going to start position 2 here. The 3rd position will start on the 3rd degree. 4th position will start on the 4th degree. 5th position on the 5th degree. 6th position on the 6th degree. 7th position on the 7th degree. All right. So that is the 7 positions of the diatonic scale. Now, so the notes that we started on were here, 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 here. Does that sound familiar? It's the same notes, right? G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. The major scale, the diatonic scale, always has the same intervals. So instead of thinking about it like this for a minute, where we're going horizontally up and down this way, let's play the scale this way, okay? Vertically. Those intervals are always the same in every major scale. So on the guitar, 2 frets is a whole step, and whenever we jump 1 fret, it's called a half step, whole, half. Those are the intervals of a major scale, guys. It's you start on the root, then you go whole, half, whole, half. Every single time, start on the root, whole, half, whole, half. Now, if we really wanted to, it'd be a decent theory exercise actually, if you're looking for something to do. If you wanted to do that, you could figure out, just on paper, how we come up with these positions. We're just taking what we figured out vertically there, and we're looking for convenient finger layouts as we go horizontally across the neck. It's the same intervals, the same notes. We could go root, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Let's name them. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So we're just taking this pattern and making it convenient for ourselves. Now, so we understand how to make the major scale, and now we also understand that the 7 positions start on the 7 intervals, right? Guys, that's it. That's all you need. So now we can go to any starting note, or say, let's do an easy one to start. And say we're playing in the key of G, and the singer in the band goes, "Oh, this is too low for my voice. Let's play it in the key of A." All right, no problem. Let's find an A on this low E string, which is this 5th fret, right? That's an A note. Again, it's important that we know how to name all of these fret and string combinations. That's an A note. So now if we're going to be in the key of A, how do we find where these different positions starts? Well, let's find the major scale. Let's do it vertically. We can go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Does that sound like this? Same notes, right? So there's the root now. We want to play an A. We go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And then we can play position 1. Position 2. Sorry. Position 3. Position 4. Position 5. Position 6. Position 7. Then you'd be back to position 1. So we just figured it out based on just the intervals, right? How to play all the positions of the A scale. Important note here is we always have to remember that the fretboard resets at fret 12. Same note, right? So if we start getting up here, say we're on position 6, diatonic in the key of A, but we really want it in a lower register. It's getting too high or we can't reach it. Starts on the 14th fret, so we can subtract 12. By the way, we could also just know that that's an F sharp note and that that's an F sharp note. So we can start it there and play the same position 6 scale. And then if we wanted to continue on, we could go up another whole step and play position 7. And then we'd be back to position 1. Okay, so just by understanding the intervals between these notes, we can do that with every key. So say the singer goes, "Guys, it's still too low and I need it up a lot. I want to go to the key of C." Well, let's quick do it. Let's find a C note. Where's the C note on here? 8th fret of the low E string, that's a C note. So if we wanted to find all the positions, we'd go for the diatonic scale. We can obviously play position 1, right? But then we need to find all these notes vertically up the neck, or we can also just know the intervals. So we have the root, we go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. We're definitely going to run out, so once we get here to this 15th fret, let's subtract 12 and let's start it down on the 3rd, okay? So key of C, position 1. Position 2. Position 3. Position 4. Position 5, we're not going to start it on the 15th fret, we're going to subtract 12, we're going to start position 5 on the 3rd fret. Position 6, so that's going to be another whole step, which we would have been up here, right? That's the 17th fret, but we can go down an octave and start it on the 5th fret. And then we've got position 7, which we're going to start on this B note, which is the 7th fret. Then we're back to the position 1 on that 8th fret of low E, which is a C note. So you get the idea. We can do that in every key, and we've got it tabbed out for the key of G, C, then we've got the key of D, then A, and then E. All tabbed out here right beneath the video player at 6-string country. But more importantly than just reading the tabs, you can use them to check your work. But what we're trying to do here is to be able to mentally figure out, and think of yourself in a band practice in a garage or in whatever, or you're sitting in your living room playing with some friends, and they want to change the key on you, and we want to improvise, or we want to play a lead lick in a different key. More importantly is being able to figure out how to get these anywhere. And it's important to do the long form theory that we're just doing and to understand why it works. And then eventually, the more you use it, we do want these mental shortcuts to start being created. For example, the key of A, it's always easy mentally to figure out where to play the first position, right? Because you just find an A note and you play. But for me, one thing that a mental shortcut as an example is I always know I can put my pointer finger there and rifle off position 1, but I can also find the root on the slow E string, put my pinky there, and then I'm right in position to play position 6 diatonic, which I also love. Okay, so that's just one example of a little shortcut. But I also know that, yeah, you can find your pointer finger on the root, get playing that position 1 scale, and then this third note is also where I'm going to just start position 3, which is another great soloing position. And that works in every key. Let's try the key of C here a minute. That was easy because we just start on the root. We find a C note and we start that position 1 scale. Let's put my pinky there. Now I'm set up for position 6 if I want to solo. Or let's go back to position 1. I can also just figure out that third note where my pinky is, slide up to that, and now I've got position 3. Let's get back to position 1. Back to position 6. So that's what we're learning this for, so that eventually we can kind of create these mental shortcuts for ourselves to be able to take the knowledge of the diatonic scale in whatever key you learned it originally in our site we teach it in the key of G, and to be able to take that and put it into any key and then make it useful, make it musical, and use it to improvise or to figure out or play lead riffs in different keys and positions and that kind of thing.